SpongeBob Detective Pants and the Case of the Ruined Sign. Tra-la-la-la, I love work, SpongeBob trilled as he skipped down the path on his way to the Krusty Krab. SpongeBob couldn't wait to get to work and start frying up delicious Krabby Patties. It was his favorite thing to do. He was the best employee the Krusty Krab ever had. Tra-la-la-la, I love work, he sang for the fourth time. Hey, that's weird. SpongeBob stopped walking and scratched his head. I always sing exactly 2¼ verses of my work song before arriving at the Krusty Krab, precisely 4 minutes and 56 seconds after I leave home. SpongeBob looked down at his watch. He'd been walking for 7 minutes. Something's definitely not right, he gasped. SpongeBob turned around and started walking back the way he came. Exactly 2 minutes and 4 seconds later, he spotted it. There it is! He cried. But something doesn't look right! SpongeBob circled the outside of the restaurant trying to figure out what was wrong. Suddenly, he saw it. The pole outside of the entrance to the Krusty Krab had no Krusty Krab sign on top. Wah! He cried out in horror. SpongeBob burst through the doors. Mr. Krabs! Mr. Krabs! It's an emergency! He's not here, Squidward told him. No one is. It's so nice and quiet and empty today. Or it was until you showed up. What do you mean nobody's here? SpongeBob looked around the restaurant expecting to see a ton of hungry people. It was completely empty. There wasn't a single customer in need of a patty. Nobody's here because the Krusty Krab sign is ruined, SpongeBob explained. People are walking right past this place just like I did this morning. We have to figure out who did this to the sign. You go. I'll stay here and take care of the customers, Squidward replied. If we ever get any more. Great idea, said SpongeBob. I'm off to get some answers. SpongeBob Detective Pants is on the case. In no time, SpongeBob Detective Pants called in his trusty assistant. Perfect timing, Mr. Detective Pants, said Patrick Pants, arriving at the scene. I was starving for a new case. SpongeBob questioned his only witness. Squidward, did you notice anything strange here today? Get lost, answered Squidward. Exactly, exclaimed SpongeBob. The Krusty Krab sign got lost. Now if I can only find some clues, I could crack this case. Go crack it somewhere else, said Squidward. Outside the Krusty Krab, SpongeBob paced back and forth. If I were a ruined sign, he thought, where would I be? Suddenly, a piercing howl ripped SpongeBob from his thoughts. Ow! Patrick wailed. Stupid piece of wood! As SpongeBob watched his assistant hop up and down on one foot, a light bulb went off in his head. Piece of wood? Patrick, I bet that piece of wood belongs to the Krusty Krab sign. And look, there are pieces everywhere. SpongeBob and Patrick followed the trail of broken wood. SpongeBob and Patrick followed the trail of broken wood. It led them to the garbage can behind the Krusty Krab. Shocking seashells! Cried SpongeBob. There must be a million pieces of wood in here. Patrick started to count. 1, 2, 3. Pat, there's no time to count them all, SpongeBob interrupted him. We've got to think. I am thinking, said Patrick. What comes after 3? But SpongeBob was too busy examining the wood to answer. Pat, do these pieces look karate chop to you? Over at Sandy's tree dome, SpongeBob questioned his friend. You are an expert karate chopper, Miss Cheeks, are you not? Hiya, little buddy, replied Sandy. I'm the best chopper in all of Bikini Bottom. Patrick jumped in. Why did you karate chop the Krusty Krab sign into a million pieces? You got it all wrong, said Sandy. This is clearly the work of an amateur karate chopper. And where can we find one of those? Asked SpongeBob. Sandy threw on her helmet. Why, there's a beginner's class going on at the karate school right now. Follow me. At the karate school, SpongeBob addressed the class. Sensei, students, don't be alarmed. We would just like to ask you a few questions. Yeah, like who karate chopped the Krusty Krab sign? Patrick demanded. He pointed to a small boy in the back. It was you, wasn't it? For the love of jellyfishing, why, man, why? The boy started to cry. All right, students, you know what to do, said the sensei. Attack! Once they were safely outside the school, SpongeBob caught his breath. Phew! That was a close call! Patrick was about to agree when smack! A large piece of wood hit him right in the head. Ow! Oh, stupid piece of wood! Patrick, you're a genius! SpongeBob cried out. You knew there was something special about that piece of wood, didn't you? SpongeBob said knowingly. That it hurts a lot? Replied Patrick. No! It's the same shape as the old Krusty Krab sign, said SpongeBob. Quick, Patrick! Let's follow that fish! They followed the man to the hardware store where he purchased red, purple, and white paint, the colors of the old Krusty Krab sign. As he walked out of the store, SpongeBob ran up to him. Hey, you! What are you doing with those supplies? My boss gave me a list of supplies to get, the man replied. Let me see that piece of wood, SpongeBob remarked, snatching the shell-shaped wood from the man and inspecting it. Your boss, huh? And who exactly is your boss? Maybe I should have a little chat with him. Okay, the man said hesitantly. Can I have my wood back? Soon they arrived back at a very familiar place, a Krusty Krab. Wait a minute! We told you to take us to your boss! SpongeBob exclaimed, turning to the man. I did, he replied. My boss is right there. SpongeBob and Patrick looked inside. All they saw was a still snoozing Squidward. SpongeBob! barked Mr. Krabs, opening the doors. SpongeBob and Patrick fell flat on their faces. Splat! Why aren't you in the kitchen making me Krabby Patties? But Mr. Krabs! SpongeBob stammered. Somebody ruined the Krusty Krab sign! I've been trying to crack the case all day! Mr. Krabs looked confused. Lad, what are you blubbering about? The only thing that's ruined is your perfect attendance record. The sign fell off the pole and broke into 1,000 pieces. Oh, I knew we should have counted them all, Patrick said with a sigh. This guy is going to make me a new sign, Mr. Krabs concluded. Now get your apron on and hightail it back to the kitchen. You've got a lot of patty flipping to catch up on. Back in the kitchen, SpongeBob began doing what he did best, flipping Krabby Patties. So much for our detective work, Pat. It's too bad. I was really excited to crack this case. You know, we may have not cracked the case of the ruined sign, said Patrick, But we did crack the case of the fallen sign. SpongeBob smiled.
You're right. Another mystery solved by SpongeBob Detective Pants and his trusty assistant.
The end.